Hi everyone, I'm Mike Shu, and today I have something special today. I have a copy of the latest Sonic game, Sonic Roll. This guy, this thing, it's awesome. I've been anticipating this game for 2 months, ever since they announced it. Well, I think they announced it like a year ago, but I only found out about it 2 months, and I finally have it. So today I'm gonna make an unboxing of this thing and really just showcase every single component, every single card, everything, the board. The reason why I want to do this is because, well, first of all, I need to admit something. I'm feeling nervous. At first, I was really excited to get this done, to make a video on this. But now, well, because I love this game, I want, and but now I'm a little nervous. Like, ever since I put up the camera and the microphone, I've been a little nervous because I don't make videos ever, like at all. Out of practice. I don't have practice. I never have. But I really wanted to make a video showcasing the game because there's very little people that are talking about the game, that are showing it off, and I think that's so terrible because while I was waiting for this game, I was like so hyped, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah, man, I was like over the clouds, and I watched every single video that there was out there, and there's no videos that are out there. There's only like only six on YouTube, and I don't know. There's a couple of clips on TikTok that I don't care about that platform. So, like I said, I want to showcase the game. I haven't opened it yet. It's really gonna be an unboxing, and yeah, man. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you guys are fans as well, but I am a huge fan of Sonic. I love Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. My favorite type of Sonic game, no, my favorite sub-series of Sonic games are classic Sonics. And I fell in love with the aesthetic of this board game because it adapts the whole entire it adapts it adopts the look of classic Sonic, the vibe, it uses sprites, it uses the same graphics, stuff like that, same art style, same worlds, same enemies. I don't know if you guys can read this, but I'll read it for you. Sonic and his friends are back in an all-new high-speed dice rolling adventure. Yep, it's a board game. Play as Sonic and friends as you traverse iconic zones from classic Sonic games and save the woodland creatures the evil Dr. Eggman has captured. Use character unique abilities to roll dice and take obstacles in the hero's path. Place dice through the zones. It's a board game. It's pretty corny and cheesy how this whole thing reads out, but but it's cool. And defeat the badniks that stand in your way. Complete enough challenges to finish the zone and face off against Eggman himself. This cooperative 1 to 4 player adventure is jam-packed with 4 zones to choose from. Challenge a single zone or an adventure through campaign mode to try to collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds. What you waiting for? Time to show that Eggman who's boss. Play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and Amy Rose. Each with their own special dice rolls and abilities that make every game feel different. Find hidden Chaos Emeralds to stop Eggman once and for all. Roll your dice as you venture through timeless zones from your favorite classic titles, featuring the rolling hills of, and you'll never guess it, Green Hill Zone. I had to make the joke. I know it's a pretty overdone joke, but come on, I had to. Green Hill Zone to the molten depths of Lava Reef Zone. That's right. And here it shows the components. It's not focusing. I can't focus it. Maybe I can zoom in. I don't want to touch the camera right now. The component says that it has 144 Poké cards, 61 Teratite Zone cards, 192 tokens, 16 bonus stage tiles for character dashboard for act boards, and 40 dice. One thing I loved about this game is that it has 40 dice. That's just ridiculous. I love telling people that it has 40 dice. Like, I start by telling them, hey, this board game has a lot of dice. You'll never guess how many, and they'll say like 6, 8. Nope, 40. What? That's huge in one rule book. And down here, it shows all the Sonic games that inspired the board games, and it's all the classic lineup of games: Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Knuckles, and Sonic Mania, all to the classic Sonic games. Sonic Mania is actually my favorite Sonic game. And I'll talk about it a lot when once I get showing the cards. The last thing I want to show is that this game is like 1 to 4 players, which means you can play this with just one player, which means you can play this game all on your own. It has a single player mode, and it's just so cool. Like pretty much what I was reading earlier in Back to Box, it's just true. Like they turned like they took the classic Sonic games and they took that formula and transformed it into a board game, and it rocks and so well. It has like a story mode. It has like a single player experience, and it has worlds. Like you go through you play the game through the first world, try to beat all the levels, and then continue like through the worlds in order, which is just so cool. Time to unbox this thing. It's so tough. Freaking plastic. I can't break it. And I don't want to damage the box. There we go. Speaking of damaging the box, when they delivered the box to me, it actually had a scratch. I don't think you guys will be able to see it here, but it has a scratch on the box. It's not a big deal, but it's a bit of a shame. Because this is so pretty. I'm gonna keep it on my shelf. I'll shut up! I need to fucking unbox it now. Oh, it's barely falling. Come on. Come on, boy. Open up. Ta-da! Oh my god, I finally have it! I've been waiting to open this thing. The box. Man. So cool. This is the manual, the rule book. I'm not going to show off the entire rulebook, but I will put a link in the description where you can read a digital copy of it, because I don't want to really flip through all of the pages. I have all the rules memorized, actually. I don't even need this. I've been really anticipating this game. This is so cool. This is the board game. This is the act boards. Here we have Chemical Plant Zone, Green Hill, Lava Reef, Stardust Speedway. I don't know why they organized it like this. It should be organized. Oops. It should be organized like this. This is the first zone, Green Hill Zone, and then Stardust Speedway, and then it's Lava Reef Zone, and then it's Chemical Plant Zone. It's the final level. And each zone has its own boss, which is really cool. This is Green Hill Zone's boss. Stardust Speedway's boss is Metal Sonic. Lava Reef Zone boss is Heavy King, which I'll talk about him later. And finally, you face off against Eggman himself in Chemical Plant Zone, which is really weird. So cool. I love how this looks. Oh man, you can't see the shine that these cards have from the camera, but it's really cool. Ooh. Really cool. Come on, pick it up. Da, 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 da. Here's all the tokens. Oh, fuck! I can't. I'm getting these things out of the camera, but I can't help it. It's hard to see. Okay, there we go. As long as I keep it here, you guys will be able to see it too. Here's everything. All the tokens, all the cards, held together by duct tape. It seems. Oh, not duct tape. I mean regular tape, Scotch tape. Really cool. One fell off. I mean, they're supposed to fall off, of course. You need to take these things out. These are blue spheres. Remember when I said that this game kind of like adapts like the whole classic Sonic experience of of the video games. Um, this is just an aspect of it. I think I might should just shut up because you probably know all these things if you were watching a video on Sonic. But yeah, man, this is just the special stage zone where you try to find a Chaos Emerald. Where is it? Where is the Chaos Emerald? Oh, here it is. Chaos Emeralds. So cool. I'm gonna organize these things just so you know how many of them there are. Ta-da! You're supposed to flip them over. What have I done? Why did I took them out? One fell off and then I took out the whole set. Now I'm gonna have to put these things away for now. So cool. Here's the huge amount of ring tokens. In total, I think there's like 96 in here. Okay, so you multiply 8 times 6 times 2. Yeah, whatever. Oh, you can't see. This is Sonic's Insta Shield. Pretty cool. It has two sides. One is colored, the other one's gray. And here are all the animal buddies. Flicky, Rocky. Oh no, what's this one's name? Oh, this one's Becky. This one's Pecky. This one's Picky. This one's Cocky. This one's Talky. Walkie, Ricky, and Mickey and Ricky. Yeah, I know their names. Oh, these look so good! Wow! Oh man, these look really good. They have like a little bit of offset, like on the color. They have like a gradient. It's not like a single color. It's really cool. These look so good. It feels like they pop out too. Wow. On the backside, they're death tokens. It's really nice. I'm making a mess. I'm placing everything's going everywhere. Okay. Oh wow, these things are so cute. They're so tiny. Here's Amy Rose. They're so tiny. Wow. Here's a pencil. Here's a pencil for comparison. They're really tiny. It's cute. It's so adorable. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to. I might take photos of it and show it to you guys later because I want to show it to you. But every single character has unique abilities and rules and stuff like that. And on the back of the dashboard, very little people show this, but on the back of the dashboard, it gives you explanations as to how those rules work, so there's no confusion on it. Here's Knuckles. Here's Sonic. But first comes Tails. I'll save the best for last. Sonic, of course. Buddy Fly. Finally, we have Sonic. Yeah, it's so cool. Like, they adapted every character's classic abilities, or just like trademark, iconic abilities. There we go, and like incorporated them into the rules. Really cool. Really really cool, and these things are so cute. They're so tiny. It's awesome. So cool. So super cool. Ah, here we have the moment of truth. All the freaking 40 dice that this game has. So cool. I feel a little bit of sawdust on my fingers now from packaging all of these things. Yes, they're so colorful and nice. And these dice are so satisfying. Every single video I've seen of people throwing these dice is just so cool. These dice, I don't know how Kess made this. Kess is the company that produced this board game. I don't know how they made this, but they somehow found a way to make the dice spin really well, and it's just so satisfying to see the dice spin and roll around. It usually works better when you're throwing them in a box, but you guys won't be able to see it. I've only seen it on videos, of course. That's cool. But yeah, it's just so cool. This one is like this isn't a very deep blue. This looks like it has a hint of purple on it. Surprisingly so. Super cool. Here's the box. Can you guys see this thing? It packs everything. Oh, it packs empty. It's so cool. I'm not sure what I should show off first. Oh, what the? Are these greasy? Look. Oh, so cool. Okay, so here we have 3 deck of cards. These are the zone cards, which are kind of like the levels. These form the board of the board game, and this is where you play. And these are enemy cards, and here we have like a couple of enemy cards and a whole bunch of miscellaneous cards like power-ups and stuff like that. Which one am I gonna open first? Let's throw a dice. Well, let's throw another die. It's not actually to help me make a decision. It's just fun to throw dice. I'm just gonna unpack this one. Come on. These things usually should have like a flip or something. Here we go. Wow, so dope. And this comes up like a hat or something. Hello? Come off like a hat. There we go. I finally have this game. Man, I've had this box sitting on my shelf for like a whole week because I've been waiting to have a chance to record it, to unbox it. And I've been like holding back. I wanted to open it, but I couldn't because I didn't have the camera ready or stuff like that. But now I finally, man, I'm finally feeling these cards. It's so cool. Okay, now like I said, I want to show off all of these cards one by one. Like I said, in case you don't know how this game works, these are like levels, and you're supposed to play your dice on the spaces and try to beat the levels. So cool. This looks so pretty, super pretty. Knuckles has a secret passage, just like in the classic games, where Knuckles had like a place where only he can explore. I'm gonna start off by showing off Green Hillstones levels. Come on, camera focus, camera focus, camera focus. There we go. Oops, God dang it. Yeah, that looks nice. I don't think you guys will be able to detail the background of the cards, but they. Oh my god. But they use like the same levels as. It's better. They use the same levels as as the classic Sonic games, which is really cool. Like, for example, this is a moving platform in the games, and you're supposed to play a jump dice, one of these things. You're supposed to play a jump dice if you want to collect the rings, but if you can't, then you fall and take hazard dice. And in the background, they play spikes on the hazard dice, which is so fun. I'll try to show a better example. For example, here, attack dice. This is a wall in the video games. This background right here shows a wall, a breakable wall that you can break by attacking it. So you have to spend an attack dice to progress through here, which is really cool. Another cool thing that I like about these cards is how they incorporated the zip lines of Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania has Green Hill Zone too, and this is the card I was looking for. You have to place like a blue dice here, and you can take the zip line, and it's like a shortcut. It lets you skip some spaces. I'm more focused if the camera is focusing on these cards more than I am on actually looking at them. But I'll have a chance to look at them later, you know? It's my board game now. This is Stardust Speedway. Again, it also like takes a good consideration how the levels worked in the original video games, and try to make the levels like a bit creatively based around them. So here we have like moving platforms, and you have to jump from platform to platform, and if you don't, then you fall and you take the bottom path. Here's some speed boosts, and you have to play blue dice, which are speed dice. This is really cool. Red dice are actually not exactly attack dice, but spin dice. But in Sonic games, spinning is how you attack enemies. And Stardust Speedway was just full of like these tunnels where you spin right through them. So again, that card was pretty cool. What am I saying? How it adapts it into the board game form. You know what I mean? This is a super shortcut, man. It's so cool. Place 2 speed dice and you get propelled right through it. Yes, please. Interesting. Yep. Too many cards. There's too many cards. Oh, this one's cool. There's a whole bunch of rewards and powers down there. Here's Lava Reef's son. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting this video too much with my commentary, but I really love Sonic games, and I'm a huge nerd about it. Like, I might not be doing too well of a job explaining these things on videos, but I do understand, like, every single reference that there's in these cards, in this whole game, like, I recognize it, and I think it's so cool. For example, in Lava Reef Zone, there's these conveyor belts that try to slow you down, but once you flip the switch, then it boosts you forward. And I find it kind of funny that in this space, then it makes you lose a dice. I thought it was weird because usually when you flip the switch, it boosts you forwards because it switches the movement of the conveyor belts, you know. So it just boosts you forward, but it's whatever. It kind of makes sense. Pencil, go away. Here's another bit of of the original level design. These were like platforms that used to walk on lava, and you have to play jump dice in order to progress through them. And if you don't, then you have to take the lava, which means run an enemy for some reason. I don't know why, it's not hazard dice, but whatever. Ugh, this thing is horrible. Jeez. So cool. Losing a dice is really like not that not that bad of a penalty. It's kind of worth it actually, and it can really help you out if you know how to use it, how to be strategic about it. Oh, this is so cool. For example, and these platforms are like elevators that you have to spin dash through them, and if you like place a spin dice here, it like skips two spaces. Really awesome. And that's all the zone cards for Lava Reef Zone. The last zone I have that's left to show is Chemical Plant Zone, and boy, these cards look rough. From what I've seen, they're full of hazard dice and enemy, and they make you lose die, and there's not that many rewards on them. Ah. I can't wait to play through Chemical Plant Zone. I hope it's very challenging. Well, not hope. I know it's very challenging, and that's why I'm anticipating. I want to see how challenging this thing turns out to be. Yeesh, that's something. Cool. This is the last of the zone parts. Okay, now it's time to showcase the enemies. I'm gonna open this card, this deck, and there's a whole bunch of mixed cards here. There's power-ups and stuff like that, but um, I'm gonna just pick the last couple of cards, which are all enemies. I hope they don't get mixed up, and I'll place them here for a while. And this little pack houses all of the enemies. In total, there's like, actually I'm not sure how many enemies there are. I think there's 80 enemies, 80 cards dedicated just for enemies. Too many enemies. I can't show them off well. Okay. Chemical plant enemies, you go right here. Stay. Don't move. Enemies. Each zone has their own set of enemies, 4 enemies. And this is Green Hill Zone's enemies. A Motorbug. Spend. When you spend the dice, lose a die if you don't have blue dice in your dice pool. This rule gave me so much trouble. It took me so long to understand it because I'm not sure if spending a dice to defeat the enemy counts as it counts as, well, I'm not sure if it activates the ability or if it means that if you defeat the enemy, then the ability instantly like goes away. Each enemy has like their own special ability that tries to put the player in a disadvantage. You know, boss bombers abilities that rings cannot be saved at a SR post. Can you guys even read that? The letter is so tiny. So tiny. So tiny. Neutron. It attacks yellow dice for some reason. And it says blue dice have no property. Which means that you can't use the... What the flip? Well, there's 2 types of neutrons. A green neutron and a blue neutron. I never noticed this. I noticed it in the games, but I really thought there were different enemies, actually. So interesting. Huh. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Blue dice have a special ability. all the dice have special abilities, but blue dice special ability is that you're allowed to place multiple of them in a row and let you keep your momentum. Can you believe that? I couldn't. I couldn't believe that. It's just like the game. And Chopper says, if you complete a zone card, replace the hack or reward with a hazard dice. That's right. And here, that's the last of the enemies. So what that ability means is that every card has these sort of end goals, sort of goalposts. Once you beat a level, you're supposed to get the reward from the act board, from the goal. But a chopper just like says screw you, and instead of giving you the reward, makes you lose and makes you roll a hazard dice, which can make you take damage. There's damage in this game. It's a board game, but they adapted it into it's a video game, but they adapted it into a board game. Here's the back of the cards. It's really, really pretty. And that's all the enemies for Green Hill Zone. Time to freaking, oh gosh, no. Time to move on with the rest of the zones. Stardust Speedway zones. Face down. Stardust Speedway zone. Hataru. It doesn't actively attack, but every time you re-roll your dice, it makes you spin. It makes you roll a hazard dice, which can make you take damage. I love these things. I think these are my favorite enemy in Sonic City. They're so cute. I love them. Camera focus. Come on. Yeah, just hold them here. Camera focus. Camera focus. Camera focus. Camera focus. Thank you. You'll never guess which YouTuber I watched that I took that from. I used to say it all the time. Here's a Dango, which is a really weird ability. Once you play a dice to defeat it, it's not actually defeated. You have to attack it. You have to attack it twice. Once you place the dice here, you flip it over, and then when you place the die, when you flip it over, then it gets defeated. Really weird, honestly. But I don't know. I wouldn't know how to have made a rule for these enemies. In the video games, these enemies suck. I can never defeat these enemies, and they always hit me too. They stink. Kabasira. X is equal to the last spent die number. So what that means is that when you, let's say you spend a 2, then next time this enemy attacks, it's going to attack on a 2. A dice with a number 2. I don't know why I'm sort of explaining the rules like so haphazardly. I don't know why I'm saying I don't know so much. Did I say that I was nervous? Did you forget I was nervous? I don't know why you would. But yeah. So cool. Kanabon. Cannot spend a die on this Dadnik unless your dice pool contains an even number of dice. And it sounds weird. I'm just gonna assume that you know the rules, how this game rolls for this enemy. But it's a really weird ability. But it actually makes complete sense. In the video games, these enemies kind of like go into the background, and you can't attack them, and they can't attack you. And it's just really cool to see how it works here. I think it's really thematic. It makes a lot of sense to give them this rule. Some of them say they attack, and that you can only defeat them if you have even number of dice, and some of them only say that you can defeat them if you have an odd number of dice. Pretty challenging, I guess. You just gotta keep in mind which enemy you have. Where's the enemies? Place them here. Yeah, this is the slowest part of the video. I'm sorry, but like I said, I wanted to show off all the parts in detail. And that includes showing off every single card one by one, even if they have the same abilities, because guess what? They attack, their, their attack number differs a little bit, and the dice that you need to defeat them also varies a little bit. Toxmeisters, discard dice when you reroll. Freaking jerks! So mean. So mean. These enemies kind of like annoy me in the video games too. They're not very difficult, but when they hit you or when they slow you down, it kind of sucks. Ewon Ducky. It doesn't attack, and it says at the end of turn, take damage. So these enemies are like bombs. In the video games, when you get close to these enemies, you can't attack them. They can't attack you, but they will explode after a few seconds. So what you have to do is run away. Here in this board game, you have to like spend the dice to discard the badnik. And if you discard it, then like you're not going to take damage. But like if you do have this badnik, then you will take damage. It will explode at the end of your turn. And it's really thematic, like I said. It's really appropriate. There was something else I wanted to say. Come on. Remember, brain? Remember it. Nope, I don't remember it. Oh yeah. You draw enemies when you get these spaces with the Eggman face on it. So it's when you're playing Lava Reef Zone, it's really dangerous to end your turn on one of those spaces because like you could randomly draw one of these bombs and you'll take damage and there's nothing that you can do about it. Kinda stinks, but hey, you just gotta change the strategy for Lava Reef Zone, you know? Fireworm cannot draw power-ups. What a jerk. It attacks two yellow dice, and you need a yellow die to defeat it too? Man. No. And finally we have Rexon, the dinosaurs that swim on lava for some reason. Their ability is pretty convoluted, you know. It's pretty convoluted, just read it. When defeated, roll 2 hazard dice. If a yellow die is not on your dice pool, it kind of makes sense because, like I said, these enemies float on lava. So if you can't jump away from them, then you'll get hurt by the lava. That's all the enemies for Lava Reef Zone. Only one zone left. Chemical Plant Zone. Caterpillar Juniors. These enemies suck. Wow, I cannot believe how many enemies suck in Sonic games. They really get a hold of my emotions, you know? They really, every time I see them, I think of how much I hate them. But isn't that just so good in a way? I mean, like a game that can bring out emotions in you. That's what I think. Here's the Caterpillar Junior. These enemies are really hard to kill in the video games, and here they're hard to kill too. Die cannot be spent here. Cannot be spent on this badnik unless it's the first die that you're spending on your turn. So you only have one chance to defeat them on your turn, which is pretty bad. Oh, there's only 4 cards. What? Am I missing one of them? There's only 3 of them here. Oh yeah, I am missing. Oh, they're on the back of the of the other deck. Here they are. Here it is. There's only 5 of them. Next topic is sweep. Yellow dice have no property, which means you don't collect rings when you spend the yellow die. These enemies don't actually belong in Chemical Plant Zone. In all of the video games that Chemical Plant Zone has appeared in, these enemies have never been part of in any of them, in any Chemical Plant Zone, in any game. But they are now in this game. How do you spell it? Sonic Roll. read it upside down. I think they're originally from Sonic City. Sonic City. Raver cannot use boost tokens, which makes complete sense. Again, it's really nicely adapted into the board game form. And Spiny, when you roll a hazard dice or more, you have to roll an extra hazard dice. Pretty bad, pretty mean, pretty dangerous, but it kind of makes sense for the enemies, for Spinies. Not too much sense, I will admit, but they can be pretty random, and hazard dice are random too. Very, very, very random. These are hazard dice, by the way. Whew! Sure have been talking a lot, and there's still so many cards that there are left. Tarot cards, boss pattern cards, Chaos Emerald cards, and boss attack cards. Ah, gosh. Hold on, I need to drink some water. Water. I can't even speak. I need water. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I can't clap. Okay, I'm back. Now, to finish off the enemies, I'm going to show off the boss cards. That's right, each boss is their own set of cards, and what's really cool about them is that they're two-sided. So, on one side of the card, they have one ability, and on the other side, they have another ability. This is the first boss for Green Hillstone, and Egg Robo, and it says, Dice action, discard the die with the highest result. This only happens at the beginning of the turn. I've seen some people get confused about it, but it's only when you build your dice pool at the beginning of your turn. When you spend the dice, the card doesn't disappear, it doesn't get discarded, but you do ignore it for the rest of your turn, and then you flip it over. The other ability says, at the end of your turn, place a new pattern card at the end of each round, basically prolonging the boss fight. I haven't shown boss pattern cards yet, but they pretty much replace the levels when you're in a boss fight. I'll show them later. The next boss I'm going to show off is Stardust Speedway's boss, Metal Sonic. This is side 1. It says bumper spaces require blue dice to play there. On the other side, it says cannot spend a die to hit the boss. So if it's currently on side 2 of the card, he's invulnerable, and you have to flip him over again to make him vulnerable again. Here we have Heavy Kings, boss attacks, the Hardboiled Heavies. That's so cool, no? Okay. I wanted to say something when I got to this part of the video. Oh, that's Metal Sonic, sorry. Here we have Heavy King. So, in case you didn't know, Heavy King is an enemy, and he's a boss in Sonic Mania. What the heck? Sonic Mania introduced the Hardboiled Heavies, which are these 4 sets of robots that have unique abilities, and Heavy King is the commander of them. Sonic games have kind of had they've kind of been smacked on in the past for a lot of reasons, and one of those reasons was that they always introduce new characters in Sonic games. New characters that they just ended up, that only show up for that one game and never show up again. So for Sonic Mania, that trend continues, and with the Hardboiled Heavies. And I don't know, people just have a lot of problem with that because they think it results in just some really generic character designs and frustration, because it's why would you introduce new characters when you could use some of your old characters that we already know, we already love, and you can build their stories instead of introducing a new character and to replace them. It makes no sense. So Sonic Mania has the Hardboiled Heavies, and it's pretty much their new characters. But despite what I just said, all of that just said, I freaking love the hardball heavies so much. So much. Sonic Mania is my favorite game, and I genuinely love these guys. I genuinely do love these guys. I like their designs, their one-sided personalities, but hey, they're robots. What can you ask for? It's okay. And I love these cards because they 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 again, they're well adapted from the video game form here in board game form. Heavy King has a special ability that says this boss has two boss attack cards. So whenever you have to fight the boss, you have to take two of the hardball heavies at a time. Here we have Heavy Shinobi. When it attacks, it makes you lose a die, and every time you re-roll, it makes you roll a hazard dice too. This is again very thematic. Losing the die is like the equivalent of him freezing you from the video games, from the boss fight, and re-rolling the dice is like the starfish shuriken that he throws at you because it fires projectiles in random directions. On the other side, we have Heavy RoboCop. Oh God, Heavy. Insert name here. I don't know the name of this one. X is equal to the result of the last play die this turn. Kind of like that one enemy from Stardust Speedway. Actually, is this the same as and die number? Well, it's pretty much the same thing. This turn, huh? Here we have Heavy Rider. Cannot spend the first die this turn here. Sort of like this enemy. And from Chemical Plant Zone. Yep, Heavy Rider. And in the backside we have Heavy Magician. He doesn't attack, and his ability is like pretty specific. It says, at the end of your dice action, if you have more even dice, then you draw back, Nick. If you have more odd dice, you get a power up. I'm pretty sure this is talking about the results of the dice. So if you have like more even or more odd results, and then you flip this card. So like he can help you, but he can really screw you over if you have to draw a bad neck for it. And here we have Heavy Rider. This motorbike he's riding, he's called Jimmy. Jimmy. It has a name. It actually has a name. And there's actually like a sad story behind that. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell it. If you're interested, you can find out. But I've been talking way too long. So here we have finally the last boss, Dr. Eggman. Wait, oh my God, this is side 2? Oh, no way! I thought this was side 1! Oh, this is terrible. Well, I'm gonna show off side 2 first. Dr. Eggman. Flip this card after it attacks. Oh no. What could be on the other side? It's menacing, it's like foreboding. This card wants to be flipped over? That doesn't sound good at all. Ta-da! Eggman, Dr. Eggman, holy flip. This card doesn't flip until all these 4 spaces are covered, and it gets worse. X is equal to any dice spent on this card. So it attacks dice. Oh my God, this card is horrifying. It attacks die with it attacks die with a number 5. And if you place like a 1 here, then it would also attack a number 1. And if you place a 6, it will also attack a number 6. And if you play a 4, it will attack a 5, a 4, a 6, and a 1. It's so terrible. Oh wow, it's so scary. I am not looking forward to Chemical Plant Zone after that. My God. here are the boss pattern cards. Let's move on from that. Let's try to wipe it from our memory. That it's too scary to remember. Um, like I said, once you complete all the levels in the zone, you enter the boss fight, and these are the boss patterns from the boss. So you have to like place, instead of placing dice on these cards, you place cards on these cards. You place your dice on these cards. These form the board from then on, and it's really cool. It's like they call it boss pattern. It's like you're trying to dodge the boss's attacks. It's really it's just like a video game, dang it. So you try to dodge the boss attacks and then finally have to finally have an opportunity to damage them. And of course you have to get rid of all the enemies' health, all the boss's health, in order to truly defeat him. And once that's done, you complete the zone and you win the game, which is really really cool. But like I said, this game has a story mode where where it wants you to complete all of the zones, and I'll talk about that later. Yeah, the boss pattern cards are really self-explanatory. I mean, you've seen the zone cards. It's just the same, just a little rougher. They have harsher penalties. Pretty tricky stuff. Only two sets of cards left. Here we have the power-up cards. What could be in there? One-ups. Haha. There's a lot of power-ups actually. Oh, that's not a good card actually. A one-up. It doesn't actually give you an extra life. It gives you an extra dice. Funny. Or whatever. Blue shields. They actually have an ability in this game. When you take damage, you lose the shield, but you can instantly end your turn without taking a time loss penalty. Pretty handy. Oh, there's three of them. A bubble shield. It has an avoid ability, which can be used to avoid enemy attacks, and you can use it whenever you want to. It lets you reroll a single dice once per turn. It's actually a pretty pathetic, in my opinion, a pretty lame ability. But it's cool because in the video games, blue shields are my least favorite shields too. I think their abilities really, it's so lame in the video game. So it's cool seeing the similarities carry over here in board game form. Eggman Mark, go away. Eggman Mark. Choose a player to draw a bad neck, and if you're playing single player, then the only player that you can choose is yourself. So you make yourself draw a bad neck. This isn't actually a power up. This is more like this is the worst lot of the deck. This is the worst card in the deck of the power up deck. It doesn't help you very much. I mean, if you're competing with other players, then yeah, you can put them at disadvantage. But yeah, you know. Next, we have fire shields. You can spend a die of any color on a challenge that requires a red dice, an attack dice. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, only two of them. Hyper rings. It gives you extra points at the end of the game for your rings. They're worth 15 instead of 10, only for your health rings, by the way. And when you damage, you lose it, but you get to keep half of your rings, which is pretty nice, pretty helpful. Invincible. When you take damage, you discard one die instead of taking damage. So you take damage, you discard one die, and then you ignore the damage and continue playing as normal. And whether you use its ability or not, you have to discard it at the end of the turn. Lightning Shield, really nice ability. Replaces the challenge space with two rings. So if you have like enemies or some other like terrible things, you can replace it with two rings. It's really handy. Only once per turn. Power Sneakers give you 2 boost tokens, which are used to reroll dice, and Super Rings give you 5 rings. Wow, these cards are pretty thick. I could have sworn I had like seven. Se- I was pretty sure I had like 7 cards in my hand right here, but no, I only have 4. Pretty cool. And now the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. We have the 7th Chaos Emeralds. They're in this game. So cool. And they all have unique abilities. And what's really cool about them is that their abilities are taken from Sonic Superstars, which is the latest to the classic Sonic game. At least in video game form, because Sonic Roll clearly is the latest to the classic Sonic game right now. Well, not 2D. It's the latest classic Sonic game right now. Yeah, but I actually have a little bit of a nitpick, I guess. It's just a really weird thing. So here in the back of the box, it shows that all of the all of these it shows off all the games that that inspired the Sonic Roll, and it shows all the games that the enemies are come from. You know, all of these cards they're not new ideas. They're using the same zones from the past: Stardust Speedway, Chemical Plant Zone, the same enemies, same things too. And it doesn't mention that it also is inspired by by Sonic Superstar, and it's just a little off because these Chaos Emeralds abilities are literally just like the same abilities from Sonic Superstars, which by the way is the first Sonic game that gives the Chaos Emeralds unique abilities. Sonic has been around for 30 years, but finally they decide to give him each of the Chaos Emeralds abilities. Like for example, this one right here, Indigo, the Indigo Chaos Emerald. This discard all the enemies in play, which is literally just like the Avatar ability that was used to in all the promotional material in on the game, all the trailers, all the stuff like that. The green Chaos Emerald ability is the power of Ivy. It lets you spend a die on either path of a challenge. So you know how I've been showing Chemical Plant Zone too much. I'm gonna show off what's another good one. Um, sure, this one. Chemical Lava Reef Zone. So you know how like some paths have like different routes. The Ivy ability lets you choose. It lets you hop between routes. It's really cool. And again, it's just like how it works in Sonic Superstars. Next we have the water ability, Cyan. Ignore all damage until you reroll. This is actually like the least thematically Chaos Emerald in the game. It's not very similar to its ability in Superstars, but hey, there's no water levels here in the game. It's a board game, you don't want water, right? Purple or magenta, it gives you the power of vision. And once you clear a challenge, it replaces the reward with a power-up card. And so the vision ability in Superstars, it was used to uncover secret platforms that you can take to like skip sections of the level and get rewards. So again, very thematically, Bullet, the Red Chaos Emerald's ability says, set one of the dice to any result instead of rolling it. Again, appropriate because it's Bullet, it's an attack, and you can choose the direction where you wanna attack. The yellow Chaos Emerald's ability is Time. You may take one time token to add a die to your pool of any color that you choose and any result. Really cool. And and the white Chaos Emerald gives you the power of like I don't know character special abilities. So here in the game, it lets you choose a die of any color. All the other Chaos Emeralds like give you dice, but they give you specific colors. This is the only Chaos Emerald that lets you choose a die of any color and says you may re-roll a die in your pool as the selected die. As You may reroll a die in your pool as the selected dice color. So if you choose blue, you can reroll a blue dice in your dice pool, and if you choose yellow, then you can only reroll yellow dice. The last, no, oh, I'm finishing this. This is just like, okay, sorry for that cut, but my camera was about to run out of recording time. So, as I was saying, this is so sad. I've already showed off everything. Everything. The box is empty. I've shown it all off. The last couple of cards that I'm showing off are just rule cards. So you give these to one of the 4 players, so like they know how to play the game. Here on the back the card says. You can pause the video if you want to read that, but yeah, it's pretty much just explaining the rules for newcomers, so they remember it, so they don't get confused. I wanted to show off the character dashboard. So now that I got the camera to focus, so here's Sonic's. Again, you can pause the video if you want to read them. Here's Tails. Tails can fly. He has a propeller tail. Kind of cool. Just that they use those names. Here's Knuckles. He can glide. He can wall climb. Wall climb is a pretty cool ability. It's kind of specific though. And Amy's. She's really good at handling attack dice, which is kind of cool. One thing that wasn't really clear here is that you can... What the fuck? Oh my god, they totally updated these things. Okay, so on the videos that I've seen, they had like early copies of the game, but they actually updated the rules. They actually updated some of the descriptions. This didn't used to say this before, but now it's more clear. You can spend a dice on another player's enemies, and you can use it on any number. So it doesn't matter if like another player has like a 1, you can use like a 3 to kill them if you use hammer throw ability. And it actually specifies it now. It's really nice. They updated those descriptions. They didn't used to be clear. They used to not be very clear. But now, oh man, it makes me happy. It makes me glad. Okay. That's it. That's all the components that the game has to offer. Holy cow, 1 hour of recording. I cannot believe it. I don't think I'm gonna take out all of these rings, actually. I think I'm gonna leave one of them at home and just bring this sheet. I'm not gonna take them all out, but I'm gonna bring the sheet around. I'm gonna pack up everything that's into the box. First, I'm gonna refocus the camera. There we go. Refocus the camera, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this just yet. I'll just cut it. I'll just cut ahead. Okay, I'm back. I put in the cards here, dice here, right where they showed up, and I'm placing the blue sphere tiles here. There's actually like a hole in here. Remember that the blue sphere tiles used to come on these sheets, and these were like placed on top. But I really like this quality of detail that this board game, this quality of detail that this board game has. The zone cards, like they're placed here, but there's actually like a lot of empty space below them. and it's used to like place like tokens and stuff like. Oh my God, where's the Insta-Shield token? No. Oh, here it is. Like, once you take out like the rings, the stuff like that, then you can place the tokens here, and you place the zone cards on top of it so they won't spill. Really nice. Oh gosh, the zone cards are falling. Oh well, it's the thought that counts. Well, no, I'm not gonna blame them. I did put the zone cards in without looking. Jeez. They're really stuck now. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I got the zone cards out. I wasn't expecting to find like a flaw live in video, but there we go. So and you have to place the zone cards carefully, not like just throw it in there like I did. But yeah, it's the thought that counts. And if you do it properly, then it works. You place the, oh, she's so cute. And these things, they're so adorable and tiny. You place these things here, and it like covers the cards too. And finally, like all the zone cards go on top. I haven't taken out all the tokens yet, so I'm also gonna place them on top. And finally, the rule book also goes on top, and then you pack it up, and it's so cool and satisfying. But wait, I'm not gonna do that just yet, because there's something else I wanted to talk about. Something that's really cool and really amazing and really incredible. And wow, I just heard myself saying all of these things, and I thought to myself, well, any person that's watching this already knows what I'm gonna say, and I'm sounding so cliche right now. I cannot believe that I just said something so cliche. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be showing off all the pages in the rule book, because you can read those digitally. I'm going to put a link in the description. You can do that. You can do that there. It's more comfortable, and yeah, here's all the characters. They give them little tiny descriptions. But what's really cool about this is that there's a special page on the back of the rule book. Remember when I said that this game, sort of like a video game, has a story mode where they want you to complete all of the zones in order? Well, and it also has like a secret ending. So in Sonic games, there's always been a happy ending where when you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Sometimes it's just a normal ending. Well, simply an ending. Other times it unlocks like a final boss. Here in Sonic Roll, there's in the back of the rule book, there's this. A special page that says, "Do not open until you complete campaign mode," which is the story mode, and all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. That's right. There's a sealed off couple of pages here. Here you can see that it starts on page 29 and it skips to page 34, and they're sealed off, and you're not supposed to open them until you complete the story, until you beat the game with all the collectibles, with all the 7 Chaos Emeralds collected. And that's just so incredible. It's a secret. What's in these pages, you ask? I don't know. I've been kind of spoiled on it, but I've yet to allow myself to fully see all the content that's inside here. You know? I don't know myself. And I'm not going to open it right now. I'm not going to open it right now because I haven't completed the campaign with all the Chaos Emeralds. Have you been in the campaign with all the 7 Chaos Emeralds? I don't think so. So I'm not going to be spoiling it for now. If anything, I might put a listed video on the description and where I'll show it off. But for now, I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to show all this. Not until I play the game and finally get the what am I trying to say? Until I get the right. It's calling it a right is kind of silly, but whatever. It's, I'm at a loss of words. And here we have all the people that help in the development of the game. Only one game designer, which is really interesting. Maybe I should applaud to them. Just like one game designer making such a really well designed board game. So many rules, so many mechanics, so many dynamics. So cool. Nicely done. Nicely done. So yeah, that's Sonic Roll. Everything fits in the box, and it's so cool. Thank you so much for watching this. I know it's been a long video. Holy cow, really long, but man, I'm just really happy I finally have this game. And the last thing that I did want to mention is just the box. I want to talk about the box. It's so tiny, it's so compact. Here's my hand. I mean, you took a look at the cards, so you kind of know like the rough size of this thing, but it's so chubby, and it's so nice because it's like you can place. I can put this in my backpack and take it to my friends' houses in school and stuff like that. To uni, I still call it school, and it's just so cool. Everything fits together well. Do you hear that? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video like informed you. I hope that I don't know, you found something interesting. Well, that's it. I don't got much more to say. Bye. Cut.